Welcome back, everyone. How's it going? It is Thursday. Welcome to Up North Live. My name's Jeff. Joining me, as always, is Isaac 556-545 and Andrew. How we doing, boys?
Doing good. Good. Happy to be here.
Doing great. Holiday season.
That it is. It's they say the most wonderful time of the year. I say the busiest time of the year, and it has been absolutely really busy for me.
Especially if you're a mailman.
Especially if you're a mailman.
UPS or FedEx.
UPS, yes. Yeah, no, it's been a busy month for myself. Just got back from Arizona on Tuesday. So for the Quest for Ancient Civilizations conference out there in Scottsdale, that was a fantastic time. We'll go over that towards the end of the show because we got main topics to cover today. But well, Isaac, what you got going on lately? Anything new?
Been busy IRL. A lot of projects going on, but it's been good. So I'm actually in a good frame of mind. Really happy to be here. Talk about these subjects. Jeff, you gave me a lot of good information. It's pretty cool stuff. I love the subject of woodworking, boat making, and that type of stuff anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool to look at it from a more ancient perspective and how they used to do things back in the old days and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Looking forward to breaking it down a bit. So
absolutely, yeah, dude. No, it's we missed you last time we had the show. You had something else going on, so I'm glad you're back.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah. Andrew.
Yes.
Anything new and noteworthy in the past since we had the last show?
Survived the drink up on my lonesome.
Yeah, you did.
Barely
made
made
the
it.
show on your own.
Everyone, obviously, it's that time of year. Everyone's busy, holiday, family stuff. It's understandable. That, and then all my Christmas shopping's done. So I'm trying to relax until the new year.
Yep. Oh, I just realized my door's wide open. Terrible studio quality.
There's your drone. We weren't seeing.
There's the drone, the dead drone. Yeah, that's lasted about a month.
It's about a month longer than mine would last if I got one. So
yeah. Oh well, the next one I'll learn. So we're gonna get into the canoes they've been fighting in Lake Mendota in Wisconsin, and this article's been an ongoing update since looks like 2019 to 2021. Yeah, because they kept finding these old canoes, and every time they dig deeper, they'd find even older canoes in the lake. And when I was in Egypt is when it popped up on my news. I was looking at it quick, and I said, that's pretty neat. So, yeah,
we talked about it on Drink Up, but obviously you're in Egypt,
right?
And that's the updated with the extra canoes they found. It's like, hey, we pulled a canoe out. What's underneath it? Another canoe. And what's underneath that one? Another canoe.
Yeah,
they just like one of them Russian dolls. They kept finding them.
And they called it an ancient canoe parking lot in one of the articles I was reading. So I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, so we're gonna just go through the article here. Submerged canoes in Lake Mendota offer new insights into ancestral traditions and waterways. With 16 canoes now identified, Wisconsin Historical Society archaeologists are investigating theories spanning thousands of years of cultural history. Madison, Wisconsin. 4 years after locating and recovering a 1,200-year-old dugout canoe from Lake Mendota, Wisconsin, Historical Society archaeologists and First Nations in the region have continued to wade into the history of the rich archaeological site in the heart of Wisconsin's capital city. The Wisconsin Historical Society retrieved another ancient canoe from the site in 2022, the oldest dugout canoe originating from the Great Lakes region at the time of recovery at 3,000 years old, and has since identified 14 ancient canoes still submerged in the lake bed, 6 of which were located in the spring of 2025. So yeah, they've been really busy down there digging these things out.
It's a lot of work, commitment to unearth this stuff, and I'm sure a lot of it's probably very volunteer based too. A lot of people volunteering their time and services and effort, and it's pretty admirable. A lot of these historical societies really go out of their way to preserve history, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and it's really nice that there are. I mean, everyone has their bad eggs out there. We can agree on that. For anyone that has followed any of the controversies between like mainstream archaeologists and they call them pseudo archaeologists, which I guess they throw me in that category too. But They're good. Most of them are good. They're actually trying to unearth the past and figure it out.
Especially on the local level. Once you get to know people personally and
Yes.
like you said, bad eggs everywhere. There can be town politics in everything, but it's a lot of people who just have a commitment to preservation.
Mhm.
It's admirable. So
Yeah. Let's see. Where was I? As the 2 recovered canoes are nearing completion of a multi-year preservation process to ensure their long-term stability, with one of them slated for exhibition in the future Wisconsin History Center. Historians are investigating the history behind the underwater site to help preserve and share the story of future generations. So yeah, it's kind of neat. They're gonna have a few of them on display. Actually, you gotta find something.
yeah,
But
I've got to bet those are going to be behind protection. Like, I'm sure behind plexiglass. I doubt they want people to be able to like touch them or anything.
Right? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
They're gonna do whatever they can, but they definitely keep the canoes behind glass, probably in a box. I know I think it's what is it, the Northern Waters Resort Casino in Waters Meet, Michigan, up here. They have an ancient canoe. I think it's like 2,000 or 2,500 years old.
Wow.
Right as you walk in. I got a video here somewhere. I'll find it eventually, but we're gonna continue here.
Does this article have pictures? I don't remember.
I think there's a couple somewhere down. Oh,
Maybe not.
Okay. So I think I'm probably not going to read the whole thing because there's a lot to go over. So I'll just hit the highlights. Let's see here. Tamara Thompson, in partnership with the First Nations Wisconsin and UW-Madison, Professor Cecil Schroeder has been on a mission to chart the locations of more canoes in Lake Mendota since her unexpected finding of a 1,200-year-old dugout canoe in 2021. They found 6. Yep. I'm just going to read it. Working alongside various collaborators, also including the USDA Forest Products Laboratory efforts that allowed her to map locations of 16 canoes to date, including the 2 retrieved in recent years, and identify the wood types and probable ages represented in samples taken from each of the ancient watercraft. Thompson is now considering the theories behind the grouped positions of the canoes, as well as selection of particular species of trees used to craft them. And emerging theories. So oak wood, along with some of these other species represented in the samples, is known to form tylosis when the tree encounters stress during the growth cycle, such as through wounding or pathogen infection. Tylosis also form as a natural part of the tree's aging process. During the production of tylosis, balloon-like structures form inside the wood's vessels, which blocks water movement, preventing the spread of fungi and bacteria and compartmentalizing injuries to protect the wood from decay. As a result, the tylosis makes the wood better suited for boat building due to its increased water resistance, buoyancy, and protection against rot.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I actually had no idea.
Natural occurrences just make it that perfect material for boat building. It's a lot of it through trial and error, I'm sure too. Like this wood didn't work.
Yeah.
On to the next one. This tree works good for that. That doesn't. It's pretty cool.
All right. Yeah. No. Yeah, like I said, I didn't know that. I just thought they cut a tree down that was big enough to make a canoe out of it and made it, but no.
Yeah.
They had a method to their madness.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And like we know, looking through the growth rings of a tree, the type of tree, everything. There's a lot we can learn about it's pretty much narrowed down where it's from, what type of region, that tree was sourced from, what the seasons were like, what type of stress it endured in the environment. There's a lot it can tell us just from basic examination. So.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Thompson says it's entirely possible that the canoe builders were intentionally selecting trees that had been damaged from weather or purposely wounding them during the growth cycle to induce tylosis. We think of bioengineering as a modern practice, but the samples we have suggest this may have been taking place long before the term was coined in the mid-20th century. Pretty neat. Grant funding. Is this even the right article I sent?
Oh, that's the one I read earlier. Yeah.
Okay.
I sent you one in Discord.
That's not the one I was looking at because one I was looking at had pictures and.
That's what I say. I just sent the quick one that was covered, so I had a couple pictures in there.
All right. pull that one up.
No, that's super cool though that they were purposely wounding, the trees to induce this happening that, maybe they didn't know all the details back then. They obviously didn't, but it's like when we do this to this tree, it's perfect for this application. I just think that's so cool.
Well, I know the botanists, granted, I read this somewhere probably long ago, probably fake news now, but like growing houseplants and stuff, like people will purposely shake them so the roots grow stronger or wider.
Oh, wow.
Because
Okay.
if you just let it sit there in the house, it'll just decay because it can't support its own weight because it's not used to doing nothing.
Because there's no wind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's
Interesting. I
pretty
had
cool.
no idea.
So it's like plants need exercise too, just like we do to strengthen your muscles, wear and tear.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty neat. So that's a picture of one of them. That's the picture I use on the thumbnail for the video.
I don't think
Yeah.
the lake was that deep, so
No, it really wasn't. But it looks like this one's a little more poppable of an article.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to explain a little more. Lake Mendota is a sprawling 15 square mile body of water in Madison's west side. The Capitol building and the University of Madison are located on the isthmus that runs between it and Lake Monona, a 5 square mile lake to the east. Yeah, so this is a little more. Yeah, I must have. This is the article I read that I thought I sent you guys. Apologies.
Yeah.
The discoveries began in 2021 when archaeologists uncovered the remains of a 2,000 or 1,200-year-old canoe submerged in 24 feet of water. So yeah, it's
It's deep, but it's not like
it's about average.
You could
Unbearable
swim
deep. Yeah,
down.
I'd
I
say-
mean, a diver could just go down to it. Yeah.
Yeah, you could almost, if you're good enough at holding your breath, you could even do some searching with a snorkel.
I mean, you would at least be able to see it, with goggles. Hopefully,
Yeah.
But like, think of that 1,200-year-old, and it was preserved, and at least still physically present there to be able to, see it. It didn't totally rot.
Right,
It's kind of
but it gets better. The following year, they found the remains of a 3,000-year-old canoe, a 4,500-year-old canoe, and under it, a 2,000-year-old canoe next to it, alerting researchers there's probably more to the site than they expected. Working with Cecil Schroeder, a UW-Madison professor who specializes in Native American cultures and preservation, officers with the Ho-Chunk Nation and the Bad River Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa, Thompson has now located the remains of 12 additional canoes. Radiocarbon dating shows the oldest of the 16 canoes dates back to 5,200 years ago, making it the third oldest canoe discovered in eastern North America. She said the two oldest were found in Florida, with the oldest dating back to 7,000 years.
wow.
Yeah, that's unbelievable that has managed to say that preserved.
What were they having, like a canoe festival up there or something? I mean, it's
Yeah, I don't know. It must have been
activity.
it must have been a good natural bay for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hunting, fishing, gathering, whatever they had to do.
Mm-hmm. And I know some of the Native Americans, they did intentionally bury their canoes in the mud in the lakes because it does preserve it. Actually,
Yeah.
they found. Remember reading they found a couple one or two 2,000-year-old canoes in a lake about southeast of where I live up here in the UP, and they said it was buried in the dirt or in the mud in the lake. But they also found they had iron ore hooks on it. So that means that that iron using Europeans came in at some time and also used that canoe and then buried it again.
Wow. Well, I mean, it makes sense. You bury it in the mud; it's going to
Mhm.
preserve it from oxygen and decay and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, you're saying iron hooks.
Mhm.
That's definitely European influence. And I wonder if they could date the structure of the hooks to figure out where in Europe even those came from, the type of iron ore and stuff.
It might have been recent enough to where it was iron from here, I would assume.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Wisconsin experienced a drought beginning about 7,500 years ago and lasting to about 1,000 BC, Thompson said. The lake in the area where the canoes were found was probably only 4 feet deep over that period, making a good place to disembark foot travel. The canoes likely were shared around the community members and stored at designated points like the Lake Mendota site. Users would typically bury the canoes in sediments into waist to chest deep water so they wouldn't dry out or prevent them from freezing.
So it'd be like a shopping cart at a grocery store. Like you use it, you're done, you put it back in the cart corral. Yeah.
25 cents. arrowheads.
Yep, exactly.
Right. It's just it's still kind of cool though that they use that same spot for how many thousands of years. That means it had to have been the same, maybe not the same culture, but at least the same knowledge of the area. So I don't know. Travelers may have been headed to Lake Wingra, a 321-acre lake on Madison's south side. Dr. Amy Roseborough, state archaeologist, said the Madison area is part of the ancestral home of the Ho-Chunk Nation, which views one of the springs that feeds Lake Winga as a portal to the spirit world. The canoes remind us how long our people have lived in this region and how deeply connected we remain to these waters and lands. Bill Quackenbush, the Ho-Chunk's tribal preservation officer, said, "Hey, now," in a news release. Yeah, there's another picture of the canoe, one of the canoes.
Yeah, they were not massive. That's for sure. They were not massive vessels by any means.
I'd say they're about average.
Yeah.
Some of them, I don't know.
Probably above average.
About that. Some of them they found, I mean, they actually are really big, but I don't know. I didn't see any sizes really on these ones, but I mean, I'm sure people weren't as large as we are, Isaac.
That's what I'm saying. These were not 200-pound plus American big boys over 6 feet tall, you know.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
They clearly, boated, canoed, and walked everywhere, ate what they gathered.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they were in a little bit better shape.
They weren't sedentary. They weren't sedentary by any means and had processed crap.
DoorDash.
Yeah. McDonald's.
DoorDash me a deer elk from, Montana.
Right.
Yep. When you're eating mostly protein and on your feet, you're not going to be fat. That's for sure. So.
Right. Yeah. You actually have to work for your food.
Yeah.
There we go. Is there any more of this article? Yes. They're talking about the drought again. Thompson speculated that the drought did begin 7,500 years ago, and archaeologists are finding canoes beneath the other canoes. They may eventually find a 7,000-year-old canoe in the lake. That could mean indigenous people that predated many of Wisconsin's tribes have used the lake, she said. Thompson spends most of her days uncovering Great Lakes shipwrecks and works on the canoe project only 1 day per week. But she called that work the most impactful she has ever done as an archaeologist because she engages with Wisconsin tribes, learns their history, and tells their stories. That's pretty neat. No, the Great Lakes have thousands of shipwrecks.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be interesting to see the iron allow content, nickel, carbon, tin. That would be, but the only thing I've really read about that canoe was just an excerpt in a book of places to see in the UP, and I have a video of that canoe right here. We pop it up. Here we are. So as you can see, it's pretty big. I think it's 23 feet long.
Wow. Yeah, so that's not a one-man vessel. That's for
sure. No. Yeah, I don't think the iron hooks are still on it though. But you can see some iron parts in there. Alloy.
Just that one.
Oh, yes, alloy. Yeah.
Alloy.
Yeah, you can see it sticking in there.
Yeah, like a cross section. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So 1, 2.
Those look like bolts. I mean, kind of bolts almost.
Right. Yeah.
On the end. Yeah. That almost looks very new for preservation. I think
they said it's like 2,000.
It looks like all thread. It kind
over.
of looks like all thread with like a nut on the end. It's kind of interesting. Yeah.
See, I thought that was kind of cool. Every time I try to find that video, it takes me a long time to pull it up because I can never find it. So, but yeah, so those are the canoes that they're finding in Lake Mendota, and now it's wintertime, so we're not going to get any updates for a while on if they found any more. But I figured this topic would kind of start us going down a whole show about ancient seafaring and boat making.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got Native American boat making traditions. They spend a long time making even just one canoe.
Yes.
Oh,
you're gouging out every single piece by hand, and not necessarily of a softwood either. At any time, it's going to be tough,
Yeah. I believe a lot of this article involves in California, but appears that the shipmaking was the same everywhere.
Similar practices, and they would use fire a lot too.
Yep. So redwood dugout canoes. The basic approach to building a redwood dugout canoe might seem simple. Cut a large redwood log into 2 half circles, carve out the inside, and shape the logs into water-worthy canoes. The demanding process takes great skill and is both craft and sacred art. Because for such North Coast peoples as the Yurok, Hoopa, and Karuk, hope I said those correctly, these canoes are a living spirit and ceremonial significance that's central to their cultures. Let's see. Canoe builders search for logs free of burn scars and with a tight grain that limits water seepage. They incrementally hollow out the logs by first burning small sections of wood, then scraping away the charred areas with an axe-like tool. Exactly what you just said with the wood. Yep. Someone did their homework.
Yeah, you could also, I think that might be adze, A-D-Z-E, an adze tool, hand adze. Yeah.
Shoot, I lost it. Yeah, adze. Yep. They find a ton of those copper artifacts like that all over Wisconsin.
I bet, yeah.
Some even further south. A lot all over the entire region. Let's see. Once the log is carved out to a depth of around 2 feet or more to create the high-sided canoes, fire is used again, this time to seal the wood with its own natural resins. The entire process can take several months, and a finished canoe might weigh 500 pounds and stretch for 20 feet. Yeah, I know there's like a handful of people that still do it nowadays. But
yeah, my great uncle has made them in Maine before. Back in the day. Yeah, and I've had some miniature models of them, like reproduction ones, and they're just super cool. And they're absolutely correct with the burning. It seals and uses the wood's natural materials to waterproof and seal it up, which is super cool. Prevents rot and everything. We still do that to this day. Fence posts at a lot of places, you'll take a torch and burn the bottom before you put it in the ground. Makes it last a lot longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I suppose I didn't really think about that. I should have known that.
And when you think of charcoal is antibacterial, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it's going to repel fungus and bacteria and rot, stuff that promotes rot.
Awesome, man! If only we could figure out a way to do that stuff nowadays, huh? For some things, yeah. I should do use it.
Then we don't have to use chemicals for that. Yeah,
it's true. It's all natural.
Yep.
By most accounts, only about 10 operational dugout canoes exist, making them the rarest vessels in the world, as one member of the Yurok tribe told the Los Angeles Times. But such master carvers as the Hoopa Yurok artists and craftsmen George Blake and George Wilson of the Yurok tribe have kept the tradition alive, and now new generations are learning this art. That's pretty neat.
It's cool to see people keeping the tradition alive. It's cool.
Yes. Yeah. No, there's a lot of traditions and arts that have even faded in the last 30 years. Yet a lot of the native tribes were able to keep their traditions for thousands and thousands of years.
And mostly through oral tradition, a lot of it. Yeah.
Yep.
Just pure dedication.
And then anything written down they had on like birch bark, and birch bark doesn't last forever either. So
nope.
What's up, G bro? Good to see you. We got JD Vintage Auto. Cool. My grandmother was an Abenaki from New Hampshire.
Nice. It's my neck of the woods. Awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Well, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining. You got Reed Boats. Yeah, it's all California. These ones are kind of cool. The Tomos and T-Yachts. And some days along Santa Barbara.
Okay, I would have pronounced that incorrectly. Good thing you said it, yeah.
It's... Come on, Isaac.
That's from Lake Titicaca down in South America, yeah.
Hold on.
We're being children.
Okay. Make sure it's nothing important. Someone's phone's going off. Must be very important.
Mine's not.
It's mine. Very important.
I know.
Those Christmas deliveries.
All right. Let's see. A large canoe that seems to have appeared out of a distant past, weighing 750 pounds and measuring 25 feet long, with 5 or 6 rowers paddling their twin blade paddles in unison. The canoe is a tomo. Close. We'll see. The traditional craft of the Chumash people, The Tongva, whose ancestral lands are further south in LA, built their own variation of the plank canoes, which are called tiets. Now these are pretty neat. I should have pulled up some pictures, but because something like this, you would think you'd be able to travel a lot longer distance.
It depends on how rough the water is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, considered one of North America's oldest forms of ocean-going craft and one of the most advanced technological achievements of indigenous people on the continent. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's more. Smalls and tiets allowed the Chumash and Tongva to trade, fish, and hunt widely along the coast. It also enabled them to establish villages on the Channel Islands. Yes, and that was I was going to say is you can get a lot farther out. And I think that we definitely don't give the ancient Native Americans enough credit for what they did, because I think they made it a lot farther out than just close inland waterways.
Oh, yeah, I have confidence that them and many other people were able to get around a lot better, than we give credit, for sure. Yeah,
for sure. I saw Jeff in Arizona. I didn't get to meet you. Oh, well, if you ever go to another conference or see me, just run up and tackle me. That way I'll be able to meet you. Man,
I'd love to get out to one of those someday too. Hopefully, in the upcoming years, that'd be awesome.
There's one in Sedona in May.
Yeah, I'll have to see where I'm at then.
Yeah, and then there's another one in Austin, I think, next fall, 2026. Yeah, May 1st through 3rd, it'll be in Sedona. Don't know if I'll be able to make it. I'm gonna try.
Do they?
But if not,
I'm gonna sound like the big complainer. But do they ever do anything north in the northern?
The United States? Cold.
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that?
I know exactly. No one wants to come up here to the Arctic.
Well, if they do it, May in Arizona might be a little warmer. We'll see, because it was perfect weather when I was down there. But
I should probably just travel at some point too. It might not be bad. Yeah.
You should try to go to Florida in March.
I've been to Florida in January, I believe. I think January. Yeah. It was weird going down there and then coming back up. It's like, oh, we have ice everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I came back to a snowstorm. That was fun. Let's see. So yeah, that is some different types of ships that apparently the California Native Americans used.
And I just have to say that California redwood, that is some beautiful material. That nice pigment of the wood.
Nice.
Is that endangered now, or like preserved, kind of like they're protecting it? Can't do anything with it?
I think so.
Or is that something else?
Let me check.
I know. I thought it was one of their trees or something like that. They said.
Yeah. I think I saw something about that myself at some point. Let's see here. Sequoia, the coast redwood, is listed as an endangered species by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Red list. Okay. So yeah. 95 to 96 of the original old growth having been logged.
Well, I mean, it made sense. The trees were massive.
Well,
They're
yeah, you can
sturdy, built to last. You make anything out of them.
Mm-hmm. Left New Hampshire because of snow and humidity. Yep.
I love the snow. You're right about that humidity, though. Our
that humidity,
summers are oppressive. Yes.
It's not the heat, it's humidity.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it was beautiful this weekend in Scottsdale. It was like 70, 75 degrees for the daytime temps. Got down to about 40 at night, but nothing I can't handle. Everyone else is like shivering. I'm just like, yeah. It's a heat wave.
Yeah.
So,
yes,
because we're talking
digits right now, I wouldn't complain for that. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's same here. It's dropping fast. Tomorrow's not going to be very nice. But since we were going to talk about the ancient canoes and ways to build canoes and different types of canoes, figured this is an article that I found. Everyone's been talking about this topic. Is they found a bunch of different artifacts and tools and stuff like that on these islands out in Southeast Pacific, or down there, Asia, up to like 400,000 years old, proving that seafaring is thousands and hundreds of thousands of years older than it was ever even thought. And this is one of the bigger topics talked about at the conference this past weekend. Is I think Michael Button covered it a bit. David Hatcher Childress covered a little bit of it on his presentations, so it was pretty cool. But archaeological breakthrough contradicts the timeline of human civilization. To inhabit islands, it is assumed that technological advancements in seafaring beyond what is considered possible during the Paleolithic era or an Old Stone Age were necessary. Yeah, so this is about a month ago. See, archaeologists and historians have long been stumped by its unsolved mystery concerning the well-inhabited islands of Southeast Asia, which were populated long ago. To inhabit the islands, it is assumed that technological advancements. Yep, already read that part. These experts pondering the question made a shocking new answer as new research. As new research suggests that the ancient people of the Philippines and the ISEA have mastered seafaring well before anyone else. New study published in the Journal of Archaeological Science challenges the accepted belief that technological progress during the Paleolithic era was centered in Africa and Europe. Monumental archaeological evidence consists of stone tools excavated at sites in the Philippines and Indonesia and Timor-Leste, providing strong evidence that as early as 40,000 years ago, these ancient seafarers demonstrated technological sophistication that rivals that of much later civilizations. A lot going on there.
Yeah.
I think it kind of shows human evolution. Just of wherever you wandered off to, wherever they settled, they're going to survive. They're going to come up with ways to live.
People are more ingenuitive than we give credit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And we were just talking a little bit ago about how traditions are lost, even in the past 25, 30 years. Now imagine take that 40, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 years ago, and how much was probably lost and then rediscovered as time went on.
That's very true. You're talking about rediscovering technologies and ways of life. You're right. We probably aren't inventing a ton. We're probably just rediscovering a lot,
Stig. Yeah, no, absolutely. Stig, finally met the Stig at the conference this weekend. Pretty cool fella. Yeah. It was cold. I was meeting Jeff up north at Scottsdale. I already like the content. Click the bell. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it very much. Yeah, Michael Button was really cool. He was not unapproachable at all. No, Michael Button was a fantastic gentleman. He was just super cool and nice. I don't know. His presentation was phenomenal too. And he's got some of that. Appreciate you being here, Stig. All right. The challenge to prove seafaring history comes from the fact that organic wood and fiber, which were likely used in the construction of Paleolithic seacraft, rarely survived in the archaeological record. However, these new excavated stone tools offer a solution in a new way. The latest discovery, according to the study, shows signs of plant processing that feature the extraction of fibers necessary for making ropes, nets, and bindings essential for boat building and open sea fishing.
If you're going to live on the open sea, you better know how to fish the open sea.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't expect them to be professional rock climbers, but
it's kind of funny. I was watching that second Avatar movie on my way back from Arizona, and except they're riding like these giant.
What was that? The Way of Water?
Yeah. Not gonna lie, it kind of hooked me in. I gotta finish it.
I've never seen any of them personally. I've never seen an Avatar.
Yeah, it's definitely it's pretty good CGI comparatively to the rest of the stuff we have nowadays, but
it just the whole premise and the clips I've seen, it's just it looked like it had no soul to me. It looked very eye candy, and then the rest of it's like I didn't feel anything depth worthy personally.
Well, the first one was Dances with Wolves.
Yes.
So I mean, the story is lacking, but
the second one, the second one, it seemed like there's a good family basis to the story, but
that's good.
Yeah. Let's see. So clearly from up to 40,000 years ago, they're finding stuff to make ropes, nets, and then it says topped with the discovery of fish hooks, remains of deep sea fishing or deep ocean fish such as tuna and sharks. and other tools like nets and gorges, these archaeological sites offer a rich exploration of what is obviously a robust seafaring culture. The remains of large predatory pelagic fish at these sites indicate the capacity for advanced seafaring and the knowledge of the seasonality and migration routes of those fish species, the study authors wrote. The collection of fish and tool remains indicates the need for strong and well-crafted cordage for ropes and fishing lines to catch the marine fauna. Yeah, and if you're going to be actually like making fish hooks and some sort of fishing line, you don't want to have something that either a fish with big teeth or just a big fish in general is going to be able to just rip apart. Or
they probably learned that through trial and error, just like everybody else. When they're like, "Hey, we got this, try it." Nothing.
Methods and techniques passed down for generations.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder how long something like that may have taken them to get to the point they were at this point. I mean, who knows how far they went after that, because it was so muddied after a while until they actually find a place and dig. And there's so many islands in the ocean and Pacific down there that you'd have to check every single one of them with a fine-tooth comb to really get a full story. But that'll never happen because a lot going on.
I was like, there's a lot of ocean out there, a lot of deep stuff.
Yeah, that's not counting what's underwater.
Yeah.
I mean,
isn't it like we know more about the moon than we know about the ocean?
We probably know more about Mars than we know about the ocean.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's see. The relics point towards an advanced method of deep ocean fishing, leading the study authors who hypothesized the ancient seafarers constructed boats from organic materials and held them together with plant-based ropes. This rope technology was then adapted for fishing. Let's see. Well, the discovery of fossils and ancient tools in remote island chains has long been cited as proof that early modern humans crossed open oceans. The study's authors challenged the popular notion that these journeys were accidental. Rather than drifting hopelessly on bamboo rafts, the researchers argue these prehistoric travelers were highly skilled navigators, equipped with the knowledge, planning, and seafaring technology needed to cross deep waters and reach distant shores. Absolutely. I can't argue against that at all. Just like Rapa Nui, Easter Island. It's a tiny little speck in the middle of the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Chile and Peru. And people made it there. They knew how to get there. They wanted to get there. Otherwise, I mean, you can't be very, very, very slim chance of accidentally floating to it. From what I've
if you're off 1 degree, you're going to be hundreds or thousands of miles, whatever, in the totally wrong direction. And like, why aren't we there yet? Well, you were off 1 degree,
Yeah, and people that had no light pollution like we do now, they don't have phones or tablets and stuff. They're looking at the stars. They understand positions of all the stars and celestial planet beings, all that stuff. Using that for navigation was what they did.
Yeah, and the sun in the daytime. And,
the seasons, the equinoxes. I'm sure they even had a way to somehow tell when there's going to be an eclipse. Oh, what did I do? There we go. The identification of boat building materials through direct or indirect evidence is vital in understanding movements across and within an island environments. There's written study. The presence of such advanced maritime technology in prehistoric ISEA highlights the ingenuity of early Philippine peoples and their neighbors. The authors said in a statement from the university, whose boat-building knowledge likely made a region a center for technological innovations tens of thousands of years ago and laid the foundations for the maritime traditions that still thrive in the region today. JD says, how do these vessels compare to the Polynesian? I would assume it'd be close to the same. I don't think they found any boats. They just found materials for crafting all the stuff. But you would assume that, excuse me, sorry. I would have to assume that they had similar boats, either even like reed boats, or if they had big enough trees wherever they came from, even dug out canoes. But I don't know if there'd be any trees like that in that area.
Maybe it depends on trade routes, who they're trading with or anything. Most of them would copy, hey, that boat's working, let's copy and see if it works over here. Minor adjustments here and there.
Maybe they purchased them too. Maybe they could have people selling and buying boats,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Trading for the fish, yeah. And then, like you said, like little tweaks here and there. I mean, everyone's going to take something and probably try to make it more efficient or better in some way or shape or form. Someone that has the time and the technological ability to really think and change things. So,
Or somebody with like a hacksaw and just like, I want a hole on this side. Okay,
right.
for what? I don't know. I just put it there.
I want this barrel shorter.
Yeah.
Oh, Ruby Ridge, what?
So that's the end of that article. Let's see. Ooh, we got. So what I did then is I grabbed this next article here because it's just shipbuilding throughout the ages. So we're kind of going on like a timeline of history, starting with that 40,000 years ago. Ooh. All right, this is on ancientorigins.net. Good, fantastic website for any news about ancient history and stuff like that. A lot of theories and ideas floating around there. Someone
I only
something?
got to read like half of this article, if that, because it was lengthy.
Yeah, we're not going to go over the whole thing.
Lost.
We're going to start at the beginning.
I caught the highlights as well.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah. There's a lot going on here. Let's see. We don't need the overview. I just need. The oldest boat ever discovered is the Pesse canoe, found in 1955 in the village of Pesse in the Netherlands during excavation work. Using radiocarbon dating. What's that?
Not Coke.
Not
Pesse.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm a Pepsi fan. It's better than Coke.
It depends if it's in the can or on the gun. I'll take Pepsi on the gun and Coke in a can or bottle.
I respect that.
Absolutely. Estimated that canoe was from around 8040 BC, but archaeologists believe it could even be older than that. Pretty straightforward design. The Pesse canoe is a dugout canoe, meaning it was carved from a single tree trunk. So they're using in the Netherlands the same technology that they were using in America for other trees. Granted, it could be just you see a log floating in the water and you think I can use that log to float somewhere else. So that would actually make sense.
Yeah. And it's uncomfortable. How do I make it comfortable? Carve out a little bit so I can sit there. Hey, I got to haul some goods. Carve out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I need a bigger log now, and I got to fit more stuff. You know?
Hey, I got a kid or a partner. They need to jump on the log.
Now we got to put two of them together and put a piece in the middle, and now we have pontoons. You know,
how are we gonna move? Let's use a stick to push ourselves along the water. Yeah, it's just, and that's the canoe. Kind of looks at first. It looks like a wooden whistle that I had as a kid. It's like a train whistle.
And we have to remember it's going to look good, you know, when it's like not old and dilapidated. It's when it's recently fabricated, it's going to look more durable and trustworthy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be able to float anymore. Yeah. So the Pesse canoe is believed to be the old. Oh yeah, just heard that. So we're going to go into Greece. To get to the first ships, we have to fast forward a few thousand years to the ancient world. It was during this period that the first leaps in shipbuilding, as we think of it today, were made. In the East Mediterranean, the Greeks emerged as masters of the sea. The trireme is the most famous of the ancient Greek ships, characterized by 3 rows of oars on each side. The trireme, the Greek naval dominance, displaying exceptional maneuverability, crucial for engaging in intense sea battles. The Battle of Salamis in 480 BC fought between the Greek city-states, led the Athenians and the Spartans, and the Persian Empire led by King Xerxes I. It's a prime example of this. Under the command of Themistocles, the Greek fleet and their triremes dominated the Persians, easily able to exploit the tighter courts of the straits between Salamis and the Greek mainland.
Built for what they're using.
Exactly.
Got small rivers, creeks, you know, we got to float down them.
And
you only have ocean ships, you're not going down there.
Right.
For the love of all that's holy, do not watch the second 300 movie. That just made me think of it.
I said the same thing when I was reading this. I was like, man, picturing it in my head.
Yep.
Yeah.
I actually watched
I'd like a good movie depiction of this. That'd be awesome. You know.
Right. They kind of, I don't know what they do with that one. But we're not here to talk about that movie. We're here to talk about boats, ships.
Yeah.
But the movie was about boats and ships.
Second one, yeah.
Yeah.
Second one.
The second one was
So-
yeah. But
So
yeah,
the first-
I just in visualizing it. It just sounds epic. This, the Greek ones. But is there any depictions of what those ships look like?
Trireme?
Greek ones, or there
Right
we go.
there.
Yeah,
Zoom out a little bit.
that's so cool.
Yeah, those are built for speed and ramming and really nothing else.
Is it the trireme
Pretty
or is
much.
it like treme or something like that?
I think it's trireme.
I'm not a nautical expert.
Yeah, trireme.
I just played some Civ, maybe some
Age of Empires.
yeah.
I was thinking about picking that up or firing that up one of these days and streaming it. Just do a whole run through. I can get my computer to run it. All right, slightly smaller with the biremes. Biremes.
Try 3 by 2.
Good job.
My knowledge is expanding.
Which use 2 rows of oars instead of 3. Outside of battle, the Greeks used various different designs for their merchant ships, including the pentaconter and a round ship, both of which were instrumental in forming Greece's impressive trading networks. Now, they're saying the Greeks made the first ships. I don't know.
Probably not the first ships, but probably the most known ships, I would think.
Yeah, definitely the most. You see a picture of it and you're like, oh, that's Greek. That's a Greek trireme or a Greek bireme,
Probably pretty prominent, so it was ingrained upon a lot of people's impressionable, visualizations of what a ship looks like.
The massive trading they were doing at the time and stuff. It's just like everyone's seen them.
Yep. Oh, for sure. Because I thought you could have gone back to even Minoans. I would assume maybe. I don't know. No, it was more desert. I don't know if the Mesopotamians and Sumerians would have. I don't know. We know that the Egyptians used ships. So I don't know.
Yeah, they talk about Egyptians further down. But I mean,
Oh,
they
yeah.
could have been starting with the simple log, hollowed out log.
That's
and then
probably what it was. Yeah.
They travel down a random river. They see one of these boats, like, oh, that's much better.
Where do I buy one of them?
Yeah. How many of these do I have to trade?
Most ancient Greek ships were built from oak, pine, or cedar, and were built using the same construction techniques. A hallmark of Greek shipbuilding is the shell-first construction method, which involved the initial assembly of the hull's skeleton, followed by the attachment of planks. These planks formed the hull, which was waterproofed via the application of tar and pitch, which protected the wood from decay and the harsh elements of sea. The Athenians, renowned for their naval prowess, made significant contributions to the ship design. Under the strategic guidance of Themistocles, Athens expanded its fleet, emphasizing advancements in speed and maneuverability. Yeah, and like you said, there's a lot to go over here, so we're just gonna skip down a little bit.
Roman, Egypt, Asia.
And this is something that no one really talks about, is like the Chinese. Because I was reading an article and I've heard about it before, but some people believe that the Chinese actually found America, and I think it was 1421 or even earlier. But I haven't gone down that rabbit hole yet. But I know that their treasure ships were, I believe, bigger than, like, say, the Santa Maria.
Oh wow!
I was gonna say, did you see that picture? Like the Columbus trip ships and everything, comparison of what China was sailing at the time of Columbus to America. Let's see if I'll try to find it.
Yeah, if you could try to find that.
We're outpacing the Spanish in terms of ship making and stuff at that time, or
yeah, it's what it seems like. I mean, granted, they, for the most part, from what I understand, have stayed around India and over on the Pacific side, but there's no reason they couldn't have made it. All I know is that the Spanish, the Portuguese, the English, and all that were really good at war with ships. So they kind of dominated.
The English and the French had a little dispute there for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
On the sea,
Oops. In East Asia, the Chinese were busy building their own ships from the 8th century BC onwards. They were building the junk, a distinctive ship design characterized by the efficient square sails and robust hulls. These ships were used for long-distance voyages and featured multiple masts, facilitating navigation across the South China Sea and beyond, which contributed to the region's flourishing maritime trade. Around this time, ancient India was taking a different approach to shipbuilding. Dhows, characterized by their distinctive triangular sails, graced the waters of the Indian Ocean. These graceful ships were pivotal for trade, connecting Indian subcontinent with the Middle East and East Africa. So yeah, and like I said, a lot of people, you never hear much about the Chinese or Asia or even the India. Unfortunately, we lack detailed descriptions of ship designs used in other parts of ancient Asia, particularly Japan. We do not know if, as an island power, ancient Japan was reliant on shipbuilding, with coastal trade and fishing being central to the economy and influencing shipbuilding techniques. The Japanese seem to have taken a more pragmatic approach with their boats featuring single mast and simple rigging designs. So I don't know. We're gonna.
Yeah, I never
finish
really
that article
considered,
there.
especially India. India is one of those places I try to keep in the back file. I'm kidding, but no, it's yeah. I never considered their maritime history. That's
Right.
a new one for me. Yeah.
Did you find a picture of it, Andy?
Yeah, it's I sent it to a disc.
Oh, I was gonna say you can also share your screen.
Yeah, I have.
You should do that. You just hit it, and then I can hit present.
Well, because I closed it out.
All right, I'll pull it up. Holy yeah. I didn't realize they're that much bigger. Okay. So yeah.
Oh my! Wow.
So the back one is the Chinese explorer Zheng He's ship, and the front one's Christopher Columbus's Santa Maria.
It's like an aircraft carrier. My goodness.
Right. Yeah, that's big.
And the other thing is the Zheng He ship, I think, was early 15th century, and then Columbus's was late, like at the end. Like they're pretty much out of their time. The Zheng He treasure ship could reach 400 feet, and some sources claim 450 feet. Multiple decks, huge cargo, and an immense armada with hundreds of ships, tens of thousands of sailors.
That's unbelievable.
It's a whole village on the ocean, essentially.
And then the Santa Maria was around 70 to 85 feet.
Damn. Well, the Chinese are very industrious people, and it appears they always have been.
I wonder where they stole that patent from. Who invented the ship first?
Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I didn't really ever think about, like I said, I never thought about like the Chinese seafaring until recently, when I think it was at the AAPS conference that we had up here in Michigan in October. Someone was talking about the Chinese making it to America first. And they're saying how big these ships were comparatively to the European ships. And then I was reading an article last night that I didn't finish up yet, talking about this exact ship sailing, his ship.
Yeah, I'd like to learn more about the. I've not heard of the idea of Chinese discovering America. At that point in time.
I got a few different leads I got to take up on that I know of. So hopefully I'll get the time to get some books and read them if I can find them anywhere.
Pretty cool.
I mean, just looking at the ships, I'd be like, okay, that's plausible. I could definitely see them.
Yes, absolutely. If those are the ships they're working with at that time, I'd be like, okay, maybe they made it to the American continent.
Junk forced labor.
History true comment. Yes,
for the most part. All right. So this next one is about the Uluburun shipwreck, which is found off the coast in Turkey. It's a 3,000-year-old shipwreck. And this one I thought was pertinent, especially for like the main stuff on my channel, because it was filled to the gills with copper oxides. I think it was 10 tons of copper, which, according to Ricardo Calvario's research on the copper mines of the Bronze Age Old World, some of the countries as a whole some of the mines as a whole only had 10 tons produced throughout their entirety, from what they figure. So that's why a lot of people think it's Michigan copper.
That's incredible. That's just mind blowing. Yeah.
Yeah. So 10 tons of copper, and I think it was like 1 ton of tin, so they can make bronze. And I think we'll just get into the article. This was talking about the trade route that they figure it was a part of. Let's see. Zoom in a little bit. More than 3,000 years before the Titanic sunk in North American Atlantic Ocean, another famous ship wrecked on the Mediterranean Sea off the eastern shores of Uluburun in present-day Turkey, carrying tons of rare metal. Since its discovery in 1982, scientists have been studying the contents of the Uluburun shipwreck to gain better understanding of the people and political organizations that dominated the time period known as the Late Bronze Age. Oh, I thought someone was going to say something. Good.
No, I'm just saying that's an insane amount of metal. And it's funny, the verbiage of it, tons, literally, yeah, tons. They were carrying tons of it.
And that's just one ship.
Yeah. And like you said, I believe you said it was Ricardo that pointed out some nations didn't even possess that much at the time necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, some mines are only, a lot of them are like 3 to 5 tons of copper because there's a lot of oxide and copper ore in Europe and Eastern Asia. And then you have to refine it down, smelt it down.
Right.
To get the purity of up to 99.3 or 99.4%. That's almost the highest you can get doing it like that. And then you have the Michigan copper, which comes out pure at 99.5% or higher. Wow. Which is why that's the only place you can really find that. There's a few smaller areas on Earth, potentially some in, I know there's some in Arizona, I think Colorado, really small pockets that weren't ever worked as dynamically as it was in the UP. But there was also some in, I was at Ukraine. But I don't know much about those yet. So I'll get into that someday eventually soon. But yeah. Let's see. Now a team of scientists, including Michael Fraschetti, professor of archaeology and arts and sciences at Washington University in St. Louis, have uncovered a surprising find. Small communities of highland pastoralists living in present-day Uzbekistan in Central Asia produced and supplied roughly 1/3 of the tin found aboard the ship, tin that was en route to markets around the Mediterranean to be made into coveted bronze metal. Which is pretty interesting because I think a lot of the times people assume that most of the tin came from the mines in Cornwall in England. But clearly there was tin mines in the Middle East too. That must have been pumping out a lot of tin.
Well, I mean, there would have to be because weren't they? They were using bronze all in the Middle East and
everything,
North Africa and stuff, and all sorts of places.
Mm-hmm. No, and they used without 3,000 years. They used bronze for literally everything.
Yeah, they did.
Like in my last video I made about the copper use in Egypt. If they're saying that they use copper saws to cut the blocks of the Great Pyramids, 2.5 million blocks, 1 meter cubed or bigger in some spots, using copper saws. Well, in modern testing showed that for every 4 inches of limestone the blocks are made out of, you'd cut with a copper saw, you'd lose 1 inch of metal off the blade.
Yeah, it sounds like it would be cutting the copper more than it would be cutting the stone. Yeah,
right.
Was that with the or just regular limestone, or did they wetten it first?
From what I understand, is they would have wet it and possibly even used some aggregate, could have been sand or even if they had any granite chunks or little diamonds or something like that. Anything they could use.
I was just going to say like diamond dust or not dust, but tiny, worthless diamond. Like the kind we use in saw blades and stuff.
Right
nowadays still.
So yeah, it is from my understanding that they use an aggregate to help cut, but they're saying that 1 to 4 inches, you lose up to 1 inch of the copper on the blade. That means you'd have to have a shit ton of copper just for the one pyramid.
You'd have to be constantly reforging and reshaping the teeth too, I bet. Yeah.
Or just making new blades in general. I don't know.
I mean, if they have the wealth of an empire to facilitate these projects, I guess it is what it is. It's just the cost of doing business. But
right.
Well, did they actually cut through it, or is it kind of like a chisel and crack it? It's kind of
maybe they did cut it like 1/4 of the way and then put wedges in to break it off. I mean, I spent a lot of time on the internet trying to find anything about it, and
That Alex Jones Expedition X just had a video on Egypt, and that's kind of what
I don't
he
think it
brought
was
up.
Alex Jones.
Or not Alex Jones. Fuck. What?
Josh Gates.
Josh Gates. There you go.
Expedition Unknown.
Yeah, but he was
Yeah, JD. Sand
they did
slurry with
the,
water oil. There he is.
they said some sort of God, now I can't even think. The marble master, the people who like work with stone, a stonemason. He said him and like 2 other people carved the full square in like 4 hours, just by wetting the stone and taking chisels to it. So
I'll have to watch that. I think it's. I don't know. Oh yeah, I should have it on HBO. Which I bought HBO stock the other day. It's been consistently going up.
Ooh, very nice. How are you? We'll talk about it after.
Yeah, we'll share that on another time. Maybe that'll be Friday's talk because that's a big story we'll be covering tomorrow. Let's see. The research published November 30th in Science Advances was made possible by advances in geochemical analysis that enabled researchers to determine with high certainty that some of the tin originated from a prehistoric mine in Uzbekistan, more than 2,000 miles from Haifa, where the ill-fated ship loaded its cargo. But how could that be? During this period, the mining regions of Central Asia were occupied by small communities of Highlander pastoralists, far from major industrial center or empire. And the terrain between the 2 locations, which passes through Iran and Mesopotamia, was rugged, which would have made it extremely difficult to pass tons of heavy metal. Fischetti and other archaeologists and historians were enlisted to help put puzzle pieces together. Their findings unveiled a shockingly complex supply chain that involves multiple steps to get the tin from the small mining community to the Mediterranean marketplace. I mean, there's not a lot of water between there and the Red Sea or the Mediterranean. A lot of work just getting it from some of the mines to.
I know. Yeah, the manpower involved in moving is just astronomical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we take a lot for granted with our hydraulics and our machinery and our everything nowadays. We can move a lot of material pretty efficiently and quickly.
For sure.
Yeah.
It appears these local miners had access to vast international networks and through overland trade and other forms of connectivity were able to pass this all-important commodity all the way to the Mediterranean. It's quite amazing to learn that a culturally diverse, multi-regional, and multi-vector system of trade underpinned Eurasian tin exchange during the Late Bronze Age. Adding to the mystique is the fact that the mining industry appears to have been run by a small-scale local communities or free laborers who negotiated this marketplace outside of controls of the kings, emperors, and other political organizations, Frasetti said. To put this into perspective, it would be the trade equivalent of an entire United States sourcing its energy needs from a small backyard oil rigs in central Kansas. That's pretty neat. That's there. You can get some copper oxides.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's called an oxide because it's literally in the shape of a hide, animal hide. I think that was it on that. That was like kind of just the position of it, and it kind of put me down a small rabbit hole trying to find because they could do the isotopic analysis on the metals to find out where it actually came from. So this one just goes over how it confirms that the tin was from Uzbekistan. In the picture again. So yeah, here's the trade routes. Again, mine there, mine over here. So I mean, yeah, it's a long ways.
Oh, yeah, I think the mom and pop shops set up along the trade route. Children, because nobody's going to walk that by themselves, and if they did, I mean, that'd be a lot of their life. So it would make sense to, hey, we got this, bring it so far down, someone else collects it. Hey, bring it so far down, collects it. And then with the warring nations and everything, to control them and tax them and all that stuff, that you'd be like, it's not really worth it.
Yeah. And then, I mean, you have to utilize anything you possibly can, especially rivers, which, as you can see in this picture, there's not a whole lot of them around the Iranian plateau.
Or, the warring nations, again, you'd be like, hey, you need this for your tools, but you're going to not pay it, so we're going to go to these guys over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the fact that they were doing all this kind of under the table stuff was pretty cool. I like that, keeping the government out of it.
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. Yeah, they're being pretty creative, supply and demand, but it's also a matter of how you go about doing that business, like you said, to either evade issues, which there was a lot of issues to safety concerns and
Survival.
all sorts of stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Let's see. So I was trying like hell last night to find the isotopic analysis of where the copper originated from, because I've been reading everywhere. Oh, it came from Cyprus. It came from Cyprus. We know this. They tested it. I found one paper on it on academia.com. It's in German, and it's from like 19. I don't even know if I can share it. It's been giving me issues. Okay, so 2010 it looks like, and 2009. But our analysis have gotten, this is probably in parts per million, whereas nowadays we can do them in parts per billion. So I think they should retest.
I mean, why not? If it's available, do it.
Let's see, we're at the 1 hour mark. Let's hit this last article. It's more of just back to who came to America first. And I mean, we all know that was the Vikings. Because the first Viking settlement in America is dated to exactly 1,000 years ago. Lance Owl Meadows.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's...
Man, that's how I want to live, right there. That's
long house
right
surrounded by a nice wooden fence.
Hell yeah.
In a hole in the ground, there lived an Isaac.
Hell yeah. That's where I have my location set on Twitter, Hobbit Hole.
There you go. Isaac, this actually might not be too far from you, unless maybe it is.
Really?
Oh, it's Newfoundland. So never mind, it is quite a ways north.
That's driving. No, that's driving distance. I could be.
Oh, you can do that?
Yeah.
Just go check it out.
That's just 2 states away. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's in Canada.
I gotta look at the map again. Give me a second.
Newfoundland?
Where am I? How far am I? Really?
Yeah.
What country do I live in?
Because am I thinking of Newfoundland? Because that's not an island, right? No, that's.
No, I'm pretty sure that's just above Maine somewhere. I don't know.
Yes, it is. It's right above. Yeah, it's above Maine. Yep. Because I know people that live there. So.
There you go.
They drive down from Maine through Maine. Yeah.
Go check it out.
Cool. It's cold as hell.
Oh yeah, it's northern Canada. Well, northeastern Canada. Or maybe so. Whatever. The first permanent settlement of Vikings in North America, a seaside outpost in Newfoundland, is known as Lance Owl Meadows. It's tantalizing archaeologists for more than 60 years. Now scientists have a precise date for this site. Tree rings show a Viking axe felled trees in the North American continent exactly 1,000 years ago in 1021. So 1,004 years ago. Okay, the result is a star example of a relatively new dating method using a spike in solar radiation that's left its mark in the tree rings around the world. That's pretty neat. JD says, take a ferry.
That's exactly, yes.
Brunswick, Nova Scotia.
Okay.
It. Better than driving across the water, right?
Nova Scotia.
All right. The precision is astounding, says Rachel Wood, a radiocarbon scientist at the Australian National University who wasn't involved in the new study. The idea to the short-term sharp fluctuations of radiocarbon has been around few years, but it's great to actually see it being used to date an important archaeological site. Okay, now... the Vinland Saga is a pair of Icelandic texts written in the 13th century describe the Norse explorer Leif Erikson's expeditions to a land referred to as Vinland. Although these texts contain their fair share of embellishment, most historians agree the sagas now show Vikings sailed southwest from Greenland and reached the North American continent sometime at the turn of the millennium. The discovery of a Viking era archaeological site in 1960 features the remains of distinctive Norse-style buildings, a bronze cloak pin, iron nails, and other Viking artifacts. So yeah, I just thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah. Man, people were getting around.
They
People were like,
were.
oh, it's like, no, 1,000 years ago,
Mhm.
Vikings crossed the Atlantic and came here and established themselves. It's pretty cool.
I thought they had something with the ships. Guess not. Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, when I sailed the Ocean Blue or 1492, whatever, it's like, okay. What about way before that? It was way, way back. Everything just keeps getting older, as Graham Hancock says. And actually, I mean, a news story came across my phone last night as I was getting ready for bed that they found evidence of humans making fire 400,000 years ago in Britain, which is, I think, a few 100,000 years before they thought. But I don't know if it was early humans or it might have been Neanderthals, which in a sense, kind of the same thing at some point.
Anglo-Saxon culture is not that old.
Right. Yeah, it really isn't. Oh, yeah, that's all I had for that. So, finishing thoughts on ancient canoes found in Wisconsin, any other ship seafaring around the world, and possibly tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands years earlier than previously thought. No,
Andy, you
Life
wanna
is
go
old.
first?
We don't know
Anyone?
shit. Life is old. We don't know shit.
All right, Isaac, we'll start with you. Any finishing thoughts on the whole overarching topic?
No, I think it's pretty cool. I was very much intrigued by that Chinese ship, very much so. I need to do more research on Chinese maritime culture because
Yes.
that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. People were getting around back in the day. That's basically where I leave with this. People were getting around. What like we've always been told, peasants and average people never leaving 50-mile radius of where they were born. Probably true, but like you said, business people and tradesmen and anyone with any means, there was definitely people getting around back in the day. And I'm approaching this. I think I can speak for a lot of us. We're just approaching this from an inquisitive standpoint, trying to figure this stuff out. But it's a very interesting subject. So yeah, learned a lot.
Andy.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I already said it. No, we're old. Been around trading, traveling. I mean, life finds a way.
It sure does. No, it's just even with like a lot of stuff that I cover in my videos talking about ancient transatlantic trade during the Bronze Age. It all comes back to that because they always say, oh, they couldn't have done it. They didn't have the technology capable of traveling that far across the oceans. Well, as we've clearly seen throughout history, they have.
I think it also kind of relates to the separation of civilization. You start in an area, grow old, move somewhere else, or part of the family move somewhere. You lose connections. They're doing something, and you're just like, oh, well, we did it this way for thousands of years. Somebody else's, the family that split off is now revolutionizing, discovering things. And then they come back and they're like, oh, we used to be family 1,000 years ago. And you're like, I don't know you.
Who are you, dude?
Yeah.
Well, you're right. I think of that like if I went to the UK nowadays, which I've never been to, that's my family there, 500 years ago.
Yeah.
We have nothing in common at all anymore except blood. It's like culture and everything we think is like totally different, So.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. We always put ourselves, the ancient people, in our mindset.
Yes.
So we have nowadays. Exactly. They would have done things differently than we did, probably, for whatever.
I think we engage it with too much pride as well. Like, well, we know better. We know better than those old primitive people. And it's like, listen, they were in the real world. They worked with their hands and their mind, and they weren't ignorant. Whatsoever.
Yeah. Ropes and pulley. Just grab a forklift.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Idiots. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we know some people used to roll them on logs. That means that people 10,000 years before that had to have used logs to roll them. We don't know that.
Hunting with a bow and arrow, just use a rifle. I mean, come on. It's savage. Yeah.
Well, even in America, before the bow and arrow was a thing, we had the addle, some people call it.
Adladdle. Yeah, that
Yeah.
arm that they would pivot and
Yeah, it's like a giant,
Almost like a
like
slingshot, kind
spear
of.
throwing slingshot, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want one. I want to try that sometime. That'd be fun to try
Mhm.
one of those.
Yeah, I'd like to check it out too. I know there's this guy that does videos on YouTube as well. He's covered a lot of the copper culture stuff. His name's Northo2. Not too familiar with him other than those videos he did. He takes the mainstream, what the main archaeology says about the stuff. Like I said, I don't know much about him other than those videos. Debunking Dan said he's talked to him a few times and said he's actually he gets along with him well. So maybe I'll reach out to him sometime. We can have a different viewpoints, talk about stuff. So thank you, JD. We just finished here. We got a little bit more here. We got Tammy. Yes, New York, NY, New York. Thank you for joining. How's it going? But speaking of debunking Dan, he was at the Scottsdale conference over the weekend. Oh, I forgot I was going to a point with Northo too. Yeah. He did a part of the video where he was doing the addle throwing.
Oh, cool.
So
Nice.
One of his 2 or 3 videos he did on Michigan copper.
And they were pretty accurate with them too, from what I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, if you got good enough at it, I think you could probably pinpoint it like a bow and arrow or a bullet.
I bet.
Mean, javelin. You ever try throwing a javelin like the Olympic people?
Yes.
I did it for fun, and I was like, wow, I have no capability in this.
No.
And I was like, it's a simple throwing a stick, and like I can do that. Sure, couldn't.
Yep.
Yeah, when I told my dad when I was in junior high, I told my dad I joined track and field. He asked if I was a javelin catcher. All right, we're gonna just quickly touch over the weekend in Scottsdale because that was a phenomenal time. I met a ton of great people. Some people that I've interacted with, we've interacted with on the internet, like Cody from East 10 Outpost. Actually, got a picture of him up on stage. He was like the MC and the announcer for the speakers. He did phenomenal. Awesome. Yes, he's got the perfect voice for doing announcements and introducing people. Him, and then Mike and Dave from Mike and Dave's Multiverse. Aaron from Megalithic Mysteries, which thanks for the hat, dude. If you're out there, awesome hat. They were just running around. Then Gary, Neurotic, Quarterback Garrett, they were interviewing the speakers after each time. So Forbidden Frontier was running that. And then, I met Jason, who's Shaman on Twitter and YouTube. Good dude. They're all good dudes. There's just so many people there.
Yeah, you were saying Gary, a lot of the fellowship, right? A lot of the fellowship were there. Yeah.
Yep. Now Anthony Shaddix, hung out with him for the weekend a bit too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, good dude. Great dude. Yeah. Had some of the ancient aliens guys there. That's a terrible picture.
Oh yeah, enhance that.
Yeah. David Hatcher Childress and William Henry. That's what it was. William Henry. Let's see, pull up some more pictures. Things like to act up when I don't want it to.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, our friend Michael Collins, the Wandering Wolf. He did a presentation. And Andy, you were part of the presentation as well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, your pictures are up there from when we were in Peru.
Nice.
Yeah.
I made it in spirit.
And then he pulls me up.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Son of a bitch.
Heck yeah.
That was unbelievable. I can't thank Mike enough for what he did. That was awesome of him.
That's the shout out of all shout outs right there. That doesn't get any cooler. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that was unbelievable. Yep. Will Brown from Incredible History. He's a speaker. I got to meet him, and we all went out to dinner one night. Really cool dude. I'll try to get him on the show sometime soon. He said he's interested, so that'd be great. He does awesome videos on his channel at Incredible History. Who else was there? So many people. Michael Button. His presentation was awesome too. It's just like his videos. It's that proper English. It's like a well timed out, gets to the point faster than Americans talk.
So he doesn't trip over his words like I do and stutter and everything.
Yep. No, he's very, very, very good at speaking.
Good. Nice.
Yeah. Still here. Yes, you are. Yeah, Michael Collins is a good dude. So who was the best speaker in your opinion? Michael Button, I think, was the best speaker. But I liked Will Brown's presentation the best. He covered, because there's not a whole lot of people that do a lot of America anymore. A lot of the presentations were America. Duncan did his on the Pacific Northwest. Will Brown did a lot of his on the Southwest in Colorado and stuff like that, and then all the way down to when he was in Peru, other parts of South America. So I thought that was really cool. 509 subs, not bad. Yes, not bad for a Youper. Congrats. Thank you, Mike. Good to see you. I cracked 500 Tuesday on my way home from the airport.
Hell yeah.
Couldn't believe it. It's only one a long ways to go, folks. Now let's get them drink up numbers up there.
We just need to get good.
We'll get good. We got Abigail Hart. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Abigail. Good to see you. Yeah, thanks, El. You're all awesome. Everyone that hops in here and watches my videos and joins us it's going to be every week. I think this show starting today.
Cool.
You guys are up for it.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I think Christmas is Thursday. It sure is.
I'm gonna.
I
do
will
it
not be
still on
attending
Thursday,
that.
even if it's just like Thanksgiving. Just kind of hang out and BS.
I think that would actually work that day too for me. So that should work.
Get done with family stuff. Maybe even start a little bit later. We'll see.
I was thinking maybe push it up an hour, but we'll talk about it. But
we'll figure
guys, stay tuned because
Will, if you're meaning Will Brown, he was talking. Yes, the T windows and buildings found in the American Southwest, as well as down in Peru and other parts throughout Mexico and Guatemala, or not Guatemala, but throughout Mexico area. And then the moon cycle, the 18-year moon standstill, I think it was called, and how it's connected to market predictions. It's really cool. If we get him on here, we'll let him go over it all. It's pretty cool stuff.
I want to know more about that. Wow.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable. I mean, stuff he was able to figure out from reading into some of analysts' work that they've done over the years. We'll sing Jingle Bells together. There we go. So Randall Carlson was supposed to be there speaking, but he had kidney stones.
Oh,
really?
So he couldn't make it. He literally got back from his trip to the Azores, and I think from the airport, before he even got home, he had to go to the hospital. So he couldn't make it. But Randall and Graham were able to do a stream for everyone, and then they took a bunch of questions from people in the crowd. That was really cool. Just seeing people that are just been fans of these guys, just like myself and so many other people, be able to actually ask them a question and have them answer it. So that was really neat. 18.6 year cycle. Yes, that's what it was. I know I'm gonna vet them before I push them through because I don't know what I have coming up next. Yeah, I'm glad I did that. We got Debunking Dan Richards, or as he calls himself on Twitter, like Super Sexy D or something like that. he's a great guy. He's really cool. I didn't get a whole
ultimate Xbox gamer tag ever.
Yes, it probably what it came from. Yes, Will Brown did not give financial advice. He had to make sure he said that. Kidney stones hurt like a MF. Trust me, I surprisingly haven't had any, and I don't want to have any.
Find that out. Damn.
So keep drinking water.
You could almost say drink up. Yeah.
You could almost say drink up. So Jeff, you like history a lot? Yes, or certain parts? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Let's see. Stig had a free ticket to the Azores tour, but I had to work. Damn. Well, I think you'll get your way out there. You've been to the Rich Ox structure, what, 3-4 times? I think you'll make your way to the Azores if you haven't yet. Let's see. So that was Dan. Actually, I'll save that for another day. Michael Button giving his presentation. Really cool dude. British as hell. And Alec Baldwin's finger. Friend of the show, friend of all of ours.
Speak for yourself. No, I'm kidding.
So I stayed with him and his fiancee Jessica, and our whole goal was to go shooting machine guns and stuff out in the desert. And we went, and we brought Michael Button with us, and we had a fantastic time. That he loved it, and we were telling him about that guy that got arrested in England that just posted his picture holding the shotgun.
Yep.
Clearly, he just said epic because he threw some pictures up, him holding the Barrett and then him shooting the Mac 11 saying, "I love America." So kudos to him. Absolutely.
I give mad respect for that. Big respect for that.
Hell yeah.
That's what we need. Bravery. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, Alec Baldwin's finger, he took, it was him, Jessica, myself, Michael, and our friend Noons. Noons is phenomenal. She is cool as hell.
Yeah, I see her on Super Chat all the time on FNT. Yeah.
Yep. She was on the Egypt trip. That's how we got to know her. And then she came for this meetup conference. So
cool.
No, yeah, real cool. We had Mogwai guy with us there. Like I said, Anthony Shaddix. It was a phenomenal weekend all around. I don't know how IBF's going to feel about this picture. He's in his comfort zone.
Very flattered.
Yeah. It's Mogwai, got ABF, and then Jess is cooking because she has a cooking stream.
I got those pajama bottoms.
Yep. So her cooking stream every Sunday, Baking Bad. That was
Yep.
I did the intro and then I got kicked out of the kitchen, so I was just in the background for the rest of it. But
that's awesome.
It was a good time. Yeah, I gotta thank Robert. I'm forgetting his last name. Robert Dakota. He was the one that kind of organized the whole event and the next two events coming up. And I got to thank him and Michael Collins, Watering Wolf, for putting it all together and bringing these conferences to life. You know, it is really it's just like what we do at MegaCon and stuff like that. Just sucks everyone in throughout the internet.
Yeah, I can't wait to make it to a MegaCon. That's gonna be.
You need to come to MegaCon in the spring, dude.
I know.
We'll be there. Pretty sure Andy and Willie will be joining us. So let's do it.
I've been
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. History fact about my family: I have 2 male sides, if not 3, that fought in the Revolutionary War. That's cool.
Hell yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Not that I don't know about that many, but yeah, Revolutionary history. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
I mean, look. Is this the right? Yeah, there's the right profile pic. It's from that area. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, Abigail. Thanks for that little tidbit. Steve Willer, Tennessee. Hey guys, happy to see you. We're live, so popped in. Usually don't have much time to watch much. Appreciate your channel. Keep it going. Thank you, Steve.
There's a motivation.
Hell yeah. No, absolutely. Thanks anytime you can. Hop in or even watch it on the repeat. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content coming out. And if anyone ever has a topic or something they think we could look into, just reach out. Let me know. Because that's what I wanted to do this weekly stream, so I'm not pushing myself just into that bubble of Michigan copper. Because I like the whole slew of history. Ancient or even not so ancient, to even go into that stuff too. And I know these guys, I would hope, are just as interested in doing that stuff. Andy, I don't know. He's like, when can we talk about anime?
I want to talk about Stargate, Jeff. You know that's real history.
Okay, yeah, it's a documentary. If you want to talk about Stargate, you'll have to go on Sons and Shadows. Shout out to Jeff over at Sons and Shadows.
Yep.
Good guy. All right, Idaho. So when will the statute of limitations expire? And you can all tell us what Adam did in Egypt. Let's see. All right. So Adam Kriegler.
Nailed it.
Yep. So that's the whole story, essentially. That's what Adam did. Best wishes or too bad. I don't know. One or the other.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I have no idea. But it sounds pretty interesting.
It does. Yeah.
That's
Pretty
why can't talk about it.
pretty wild. Yeah. Jeff, you're black. You're all black screen.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't see you. We don't see you. You're a black screen, but that's all right. You're a
Okay.
screen of color. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say black.
Screen of
You're
color.
a screen of color. You're a screen of color. Yes.
A shade of gray.
Yes. No less of a person because of it.
How about now?
We don't see you, but that's okay.
I like the other one
We
better.
see you now. We see you now. Just turn it back off. It's better that way. It's
No, I am not at liberty to say what happened because it actually was not good. Well, I mean,
I'm
it
sure
wasn't
if,
like,
I'm sure if anyone's going to
bad.
share it, it's Adam himself, right?
Yeah, exactly. If he wants to talk
Yeah.
about it, he can. It's not my place. But it's just say it's not like something bad, something that we would think is bad.
Yep.
And that's where I'm going to end that conversation.
Mhm.
I mean, that's cool.
We're not,
Exactly.
we're not the
Weekly
gossip
podcasts.
corner.
Yes.
It's a history show.
Weekly podcasts are the best. Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, yes, whatever. Been a long week. Been a long month. I'd like to say I can finally relax now that all my traveling and stuff's over, but it's not. Well, the traveling's over with, but I can't relax between 2 jobs, shoveling roofs, doing this stuff because I'm loving doing this stuff.
The holidays.
I
Holidays.
just want to say,
yeah.
I think it's super cool that 15 people hit that like button. That's it's pretty awesome. So it's
Hell
a really
yeah!
active chat
Hey,
tonight.
you guys are all
Great
awesome
people
out
in the
there.
chat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is the new Stargate coming out? Yes, there is, and some of the writers and creators of the original series and some Atlantis, I think, are coming back.
Mike, I forget, I can't say his last name, and then
Yeah.
Joseph Malozzi are going to be working on it. So
yeah, that'll be cool. JD, I plan on doing some video exploration in Arizona. Sweet. Yeah, do it. There's so ABF, he lives there. He was telling me he goes out in his I don't even know what you want to call it, like an SUV or
Land
just say
Cruiser,
his
right?
buggy. Land Cruiser, that's what it is. I
Yeah.
forgot. And he says they go camping and stuff. They find like petroglyphs and pictographs and stuff all over the walls everywhere throughout the canyons and stuff like that on rocks. So there's a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, go do it. I want to see what you find. Because there's not a lot of stuff painted or carved on rocks around here to find. Just gotta
And
look
we're
for
in the,
depressions and holes.
That was like the dark months. Like there's not much going outside up here.
Yeah, I can't go outside. I can't go out in the woods until June. Unless it's on a snow wheel.
Yeah, like
That's
2
what I'm
hours
doing
of
every day.
daylight a day really doesn't get you too far. Yeah.
Nope. Now I want to know. I bet you do, Abigail, but like I said, I'm not at liberty to say what it was. Sorry. All right, Isaac,
Jeff,
what you got coming up?
as always, I'll be on here when I'm on here. It's great. Thank you for having me on, Jeff. Appreciate it. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Andy, for being here too. Just Monday nights, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on my channel, Isaac 556 by 45, the Golden Age podcast. We're gonna have a really good guest this week, Jeff. Do you know who
Really?
that is? Yeah,
No, you might have to tell the folks at home.
really. Okay, I don't know. He's just some guy from up north, I think.
Up north, yeah.
Yeah, some bald guy from up north. I don't know, but he'll be on the
That
channel
could be
this
anybody.
Monday. Yeah, it could be.
Cool.
And so just check it out. Appreciate it. And
Yeah, I'll have to watch the show live. Be interested
Yeah.
to see who this guy from up north would be.
I don't know. Yeah, you'll have to check it out to find out. So
And you're
appreciate
saying
it.
no hair.
No hair?
None
Hey,
whatsoever.
I'm just like him. Go follow Isaac on YouTube. He's also son of a gun.
Politics
also
and
on
culture
X.
war stuff.
Yep.
so I
Culture
appreciate it.
war, politics.
No, we're
stuff
doing
like
pop culture,
Good.
politics, everything. We're expanding.
Some
but,
laughs, some jokes.
it's nice. I always say it's nice to come here and step back in time because we're talking current events on my
Mm-hmm.
channel. To step back and reflect is very refreshing on this channel.
Yes.
So,
Sometimes you got to take a break from the modern day politics. That'll just drive you insane.
Yep.
So
So,
go sub to Isaac. The link is also down in the description, along with his X, where he tweets like a 16-year-old girl. I'm gonna give him a follow on there as well.
Yeah.
Snyder, what's up?
If you like memes, check it out on X. So yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, we just got that. Yep. So go check him out. Good stuff. Some guy from up north will be on there. I don't know. I bet you he doesn't know much about politics or modern day pop culture stuff.
We'll have to find out Monday night. Check it out. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hello. What you got coming up?
Friday. Friday's tomorrow night.
Yeah.
It's a Friday. So Friday's at 7 Central. Drink up. Me, Jeff, Willie, occasional special guest.
Is Willie going to be there?
Should be, although it is the holidays, so everyone's busy. Understandable. We just sit back, relax, shoot the shiz. Have some beverages, random varieties.
Did we get heat in there yet?
Partially.
Okay.
Same thing. So we just talk anything popular, anything we find interesting. Could be ancient stuff, could be games, movies, could be
local news,
vehicles, local news, hunting, just whatever fancies our dish that week.
We really don't have a
Tuesdays.
theme.
What's that?
So we really don't have a theme. Sorry to cut you off.
No, we're still working on just, what the normal stuff. If you're going out having drinks, you just talk whatever. And then Tuesdays, if you like gaming and stuff, we do gaming on Leveling Up. Same thing. Drink Up channel. Just play games, relax. Hopefully relax. Keyword.
Relax, right? Yeah, with you and your brother.
It's pretty rage baited, but
when are you guys gonna RV there? Yeah, we beat it.
We beat it.
Thought you were there.
Yeah, not last weekend, the weekend before, or the week before. Hello.
Damn, we just subbed y'all. Thank you. You're the best. You're all the best.
Andy did a good job holding the show down. I watched.
Yes, he did on Friday.
You did a good job.
I popped in for a few moments, as did
through the storm.
And he's commenting shit posts about me as he's sitting right next to me. So yeah, that was fun. Yeah, go give it a watch, Mike. So yep. That's funny. That is fantastic. Thank you, Abigail. But on that note, folks, perfect. Awesome.
What about you, Jeff?
For me?
From up north.
Yeah, we got the weekend pregame on Drink Up tomorrow, and then I'm bartending again for the weekend, along with all sorts of stuff. So the winter grind begins and is nonstop until spring. So hopefully I'm going to keep making videos. I think I'm going to try to do one maybe every couple of weeks. Give me a little more time to really do deeper research and fine tune the editing out. But we're still going to do this weekly. A range of topics, all based in the history or whatever we find interesting in that era.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
I'm going to end her there. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. All the people in the chat, the lurkers, anyone that's going to watch this after the fact on the re-upload. Thank you very much. You're amazing. Isaac, thank you for joining. Andrew, thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate it. Hit that like button. If you like it or you know someone that enjoys this kind of content, share it to them. I really appreciate it. And like I said earlier, any ideas or topics you think that we could cover or go depth into, just reach out to me. You can reach out to me on X. I think my email's somewhere, either way. But it's just JeffUpNorth906 at Gmail. Easy to get a hold of me in many, many different places, including, not good yet. So, all right. Hey, everyone, have a wonderful night. We'll see you next time.